Okay, guys, we are officially starting our group chat today. And in this group chat, I think we're going to do kind of like a split chat. So we've been doing some really intense group chats over the last few weeks. This one, I think I'm going to kind of make it a little bit of a mixed bag. So I've created a list of some really difficult to appraise items. And I included stuff other than phones. So I have a MacBook on here. I've actually got a Bluetooth speaker on here. So I can show you guys how to appraise stuff other than phones and also really damaged phones. So I'm going to give you guys a quiz, and I'm going to break down how we appraise that stuff. And then for the other half of the group chat, I'm going to go over the new text and rebuttal sheet that I released last week and how to close using that. I'll also show you guys how many messages we're getting from paid Facebook ads. That we're getting messages pouring in like daily from our paid Facebook ads, and we're closing quite a few of them. So I can also show you guys a little bit about that. And I just released that new paid Facebook ads course yesterday. So if you haven't checked it out, ask about it in the group, or you can ask in the group chat if you want about it. Okay, so first thing to start off, guys, is let's get into appraisals and offers, because in order to negotiate anything or buy any phones, we got to make sure our price is right? Who here feels that they don't feel super confident when they offer a price? They're not sure if they're offering the highest they could, or if they're offering too little, or if your maybe your appraisal is not right and you're not even sure if you're making an offer on the right place. Let me know if you don't feel 100% confident in every appraisal. Lauren says me, Christian says me, Chris says that's exactly me, Todd says me, Debbie says me. Okay, so I'm going to show you some principles in this group chat. It says I'm getting more comfortable, not 100%. Brandon says I'm confident when selling 500 or lower. I have to calculate higher offers. All right, so I've got a nice range of things to test you guys on today, and not just test you, but also show you exactly how I do it to break it down, to give you a little more confidence. And these three key principles to appraising, that if you follow these three rules, you should be able to, accurately appraise. Now, appraising is an art. So it's not an exact science, okay? It officially, I went to appraisal school for real estate. My mother was a real estate appraiser for 20 years. And in appraisals, they tell you that it's what's called an opinion. So there's no concrete answer, but the key is you want to get close, right? Like if you're shooting arrows and you get it in the bullseye, it doesn't matter if it's on the kind of right side of the bullseye or the left side. As long as it's in the bullseye, it still counts as a bullseye, right? So it's kind of the same way with appraisals. If you're $5, $10 off from what it actually sells for, you did good. The problem is when you're, if it's only a $100 phone and you're $30 off, that's too big of a margin, and you're going to lose a lot of sales and not get enough offers with that. Okay? Does everybody know what I mean by this stuff? Does this make sense? So I want to try to show you how to get within that bullseye range, so that way we can be as accurate as possible, and that way we know for sure that our competition isn't beating us and we're being as competitive as we can. All right, so let's start off with the test. So what I want you guys to do, can everybody commit to me to participate in this group chat, even if you're brand new, because this is a key skill to improve. I say yes, yes, and the more people we get participating, the more this will be. Now, I don't care if you're $100 off when you type in the chat. That's okay. The only way you can do this is by messing up and making mistakes and getting better. So don't be afraid to participate and make mistakes. It's fine. Just participate, and the more you participate, the better you'll get. So first thing we're going to praise is a Galaxy S7 for Verizon, 32 gigabytes. Okay, this will be in good used condition. A Galaxy S7 for Verizon, 32 gigabytes. So what I want you to do is I want you to type in the chat how much you would pay for that phone. What would your offer be to the customer, and how much do you think it's going to sell for once you buy that phone? Okay, now let's try to get everybody to get the appraisal in less than a minute. The goal is really to appraise. If you want to be a phone flipping superstar, you want to be able to appraise items in 30 seconds. Okay, but if you're new, that's not realistic. It's going to take practice, but that's kind of the end game goal, right? I could typically appraise most items in about 15 seconds or less. Most stuff, unless it's a really, really difficult one, then it maybe takes me about 30 or 40 seconds. Okay, so I haven't seen an answer yet in the chat. Galaxy S7 for Verizon. Oh, we got our first answer here. It's a Galaxy S7 for Verizon, 32 gigabytes, guys. Okay, so I see buy for 40, sell for 120, buy for 60, sell for 140, sell for 140, buy for 60, sell for 160, buy for 80, buy for, okay, thanks for the participation. A lot of people are commenting, so good job, guys. Buy for 70, sell for 150. Debbie says pay 75 and then sell for 145. So Kirk says buy for 50, sell for 150. Michael's in Canada, so he says he can't answer. You know, just go to ebay.us, Michael. I think you can go to eBay in US, possibly. I'm not 100% sure. But go to like incognito window and try it that way. Ray says buy for 70 and sell for 140. James says buy for 75. Okay, so you guys are close. Now, some of you guys are a little out of the bullseye. Here's what I came up with. I came up with buy for 50 and sell for 119.95. Now, I know those of you who said 140, why you said 140. So let me share my screen and actually walk you through the appraisal process on this, okay? Galaxy S7, smartphone, Verizon. So your search should be this exact right here. Galaxy S7, smartphone, Verizon, 32 gigabytes. If your search looks anything different than this, then that could cause skewed results. So let's take a look. Remember, we go to sold items, so you got to make sure whatever you're appraising, it's sold. All right, now, this one's a Galaxy S7, but it's only 87 bucks. Now, let me, before I break this down, how I arrived at the 119.95. First, let me share these three principles. The three key appraisal principles. Now, if you were here in a group chat a few weeks ago, I had talked about this. Number one is risk management. Number two is strength in comparables. And three is cost of shipping. All these need to be factored in when appraising. It's not always cut and dry if you want to be accurate, all right? So risk management means how much risk is there to buying this phone? Is there a good chance there could be a lot more wrong to it than we think? Are there a lot of working parts? Well, let's look. It's a Galaxy S7. It's a basic good condition phone. So what do you guys think? Is there a lot of risk in buying that or not as much? Not that much, right? Not too much risk in a basic phone that's in good shape. That's low risk management. But what's our strength in comparables? Let's see. Do we have a ton of these to compare? It's probably a 5 out of 10. We got this one. This one, I think, there's something wrong with it. I don't even know if that's a Galaxy S7. It looks weird. So we have one here for $149.99. Now, for those that said 160 or 150, I know that's why you said that. However, how many comparables, guys, do we need for a strong appraisal? Type in the chat how many we need. We need 3. We need 3. At least 3 comparables will give you a very safe appraisal, usually in the bullseye. So can we go off this one? Absolutely not, because we need to find 2 other ones to support that value. And if we look, now this one's a Galaxy S7 Edge, so we can't use that. Now, some people might have accidentally appraised that and saw, okay, oh, 140 Galaxy S7, but we can't count it because it's an S7 Edge, which is a different phone. Now we go here. This is a Galaxy S7, and it's sold for $111 plus $595 shipping, so that's about $120. So we have one phone for $149.99 plus $8 shipping and one. So let's say $160 and $120. Here's another one. This is an S7 Edge, so we cannot count that. Here's an S7, but now it's got a free OtterBox, which is an expensive case, right? Plus, it's got all the package and shipping. Should we use this one as a comparable, guys? Is this an apples to apples comparison with the phone? No, right? Someone says, shoot, I appraised the Edge. Well, that's a common mistake. It's okay. That's why I'm going over this stuff, right? So if we look down in the next one, okay, we have a Galaxy S7 here, unlocked, good condition. If it's unlocked, can we use that one? If it's unlocked, can we use that? Is it apples to apples? No, it is not. So we can't use that. So that could also skew your appraisal. Be very careful. So right now, we've only got 2 solid appraisals. We've got this one, $149, and we've got this one here for $120. Now, here's one with a cracked display. We can't use that, right, because it's cracked. It's not apples to apples. Okay? Here's one, $159, but that's a bad ESN, which is strange. It's sold for $159, and it has a stock photo, so I'm not going to use that. Here's another one. Now, this one's solid. It's just a regular picture of a phone, and it's sold for $112 with free shipping. Can we use this one? Oh, wait a minute. That's unlocked. Interesting. So we don't want to use that. Here's another one that says unlocked, $110. Let me see if I can find one that does not say unlocked. So our strength of comparables is tough here because we don't have as many good solid appraisals. But it looks like every single one of these unlocked. Okay, here's one. Oh, that's unlocked. Every one of these is unlocked. So based on what I saw, there's too much of a range because a lot of these are selling for 110, 112. I did say some that sold for 140, 150. But now, if I see 3 that sold for 112 and 3 that sold for 140, 150, where do you think I'm going to aim more towards? The 140 or the 112? The lower end. Yes, because if we buy too low, right, is that a bad thing or a good thing? If we pay too little for the phone, is it good or bad? It's never bad, right? Because if we sell it more, let's say we buy it appraising it at 120 and then it sells for 130, well, then we got like a free $10, right? But if we appraise it 140 and then we offer them, let's say 70 and it sells for 110, what happens? We wasted all that time for nothing because by the time you pay eBay fees and shipping, you're looking at like a $15 profit. Do we want to make a $15 profit on a $70 purchase, guys? Absolutely not. Okay. We need to double our money in the under $100 range minimum. So if a phone's worth 120, I'm not paying any more than 60, period. Okay. Someone says, I just did and it sucks. Laugh out loud. Yes, it does suck. Anybody overpay for a phone, it does absolutely suck, right? That's what I don't want to do. So guys, remember, the money in this business is always made when we buy, okay? And I am not a gambler. I tried gambling. I was in Atlantic City last month. And you know what? I lost $5 and I quit gambling. It was very, I took my money and I drank beers instead with that money because I figured even alcohol was more productive than gambling. And why I don't like to gamble, and why I say that is because, over appraising is like gambling. You're not sure. You might get that 140, but if you don't, you lose money. It's like throwing money in a slot machine, okay? So we always want to appraise towards the lower end if we have supporting comparables, which we do. We have 3 supporting comparables for only 112, 115, okay? So I'm going to head towards that, and that's why I said 120. Is this helpful, guys? Does this make sense to you? Why I did this? I really wanted to give you an in-depth breakdown of how to appraise these, because when you know this stuff for sure, you can explain this to a customer if you have to. And when they say, oh, my competitor said he'll pay more, you can be confident knowing you did everything you can and it's accurate. Maybe your competitor's wrong. He's going to get burned, which does happen. So let them get burned, but you don't want to. All right, let's move on to the next one now. Okay, next phone we got. No, actually, this is not going to be a phone. Who here is buying things other than phones, by the way? Just type it in the chat if you are. Yes, I see me. Keisha's at 20,000 a month, by the way, which is awesome. I know Pablo's crushing it. He's doing a great job. But by the way, I just interviewed a new guy today. It was pretty. Anybody wants the interview I did today with Nick? Nick, one of my students, Nick, he's been in the course for about 6 months, but last month his bank account was negative $191, right? He was like, I need to get to work, and he worked his butt off. 45 days later, he hit 14,000 in a month. It was pretty inspiring. If you guys haven't checked that interview out, I posted it in the group so you guys can watch it. Yeah, I was impressed myself. That's a big swing. He said within 2 weeks he had done 3,000 in sales. He had to borrow money to buy the phones, left his account in the negative, sold the phones, and then paid off the negative balance with the profit. So that was very impressive and really inspiring to everybody else that was watching. Okay, but moving on, guys. Going to different items I think is really important because we need to diversify other than phones if we want to really hit big numbers. If you want to get to 10, 20,000 a month, usually it's not going to happen if you're just buying phones, typically, unless you're an insane beast with advertising and all you do is just post ads all day long. But for the average person who doesn't want to absolutely kill themselves in this business, you've got to diversify, and that's how you can upsell, okay? So we're going to do this. We're going to do a JBL 3 Bluetooth speaker, okay? It's called the JBL 3 speaker. It's a waterproof Bluetooth speaker. As a matter of fact, I got mine right here. I've been using this to listen to my Nintendo music as I do work during the day. So I want you guys type in how much you would pay for it and then what you think it will sell on eBay. And go ahead and type it in the chat. Oops, I unplugged my speaker. And if you guys haven't started buying Bluetooth speakers, you're missing out because We literally run almost 5 to 10 ads a week just for Bluetooth speakers. They're that popular right now because people buy these things, they sit in the drawer, they never use them, and then they just want to offload them for cash. And they pay a ridiculous amount of money. These things hold their value. And when you find out what we pay for this thing and what it's worth, you're going to want to start buying them. So Chris says sell for 55. Grant says buy for 20, sell for 80. Pablo says buy for 10, sell for 60. Lawrence says buy for 15, sell for 65. Christian says buy for 30, sell for 80. Someone says buy for 15, sell for 60. Juan says buy for 25, sell for 60. Debbie says buy for 20, sell for 60. Talent says buy for 5, sell for 60. Brandon says 65, buy for $16. That's an interesting number. JR says buy for 5, sell for 60. Okay. We paid $10 for the speaker, okay? It's probably going to sell for 60. Now, I know you're wondering, why didn't I pay $5? Well, here's why I didn't pay $5 on this. I'll break it down, and then I'll also show you how we came at the $60 price range. If someone's got a nice speaker like this and they're using it, right, $5 may not be enough, but just offering that extra 5 to give them 10 is enough to grab these, and we can get quite a bit of those, and my profit is still $45 on this. Now, as a single purchase, is it awesome? No. But how many people you think have these when they have a phone to sell? Anybody? How many people you think you can upsell them on getting rid of one of these things if they got some phones? Tons of people. I would say probably at least a third of the people that sell you a phone have other stuff like this that they could sell you, all kinds of Bluetooth things, right? There's a lot of money in Bluetooth stuff at the moment, any type of electronics. I don't discriminate towards what I buy. If there's going to be a profit on it that I can make, and this is not going to cost a lot to ship, it'll cost me $5. Just throw it in a medium flat rate bag, $5, right? And I can make $40. If I'm already going to make $70 profit on the phone I buy, and then I can upsell this and get $40 while I'm right there, it's free money, right? Because I'm already there buying the phone, and I say, hey, do you have anything else? We buy laptops, MacBooks, tablets, cameras, smartwatches, Bluetooth speakers even. Do you have anything else? Hell, guys, I've even flipped karaoke machines. Anybody bought those before? I've even bought karaoke machines and flipped them. So yeah, upselling is important. So let's break down on the appraisal for this stuff. Let's take a look at how I arrived at this. So I'm just going to put JBL speaker. That should be good enough because that's the exact model. I don't think you need to type in Bluetooth with it. Here we go. Here it is. Now, this is a black one. Sold for $60 plus $8 shipping, so that's $68. This one's brand new. I think they lowballed themselves on that because this is an auction. $50 of free shipping. I'm not going to use that one. We want to ignore the brand new. Here's a pre-owned camouflage. That one sold for $80. Brand new, brand new. We don't want to use that. This one's a pre-owned for $60 with the box. I'm pretty positive based on what I see here. And there's a lot of new to go through, which if you ever get that, here's a trick, guys. Just go to over here where condition is and click on used. And then that'll get rid of all those new listings. So you can do this quicker. So we'll go 60. We've got one at 80. I don't like this because it's a stock photo, though. We got pre-owned 69. And here's one for $54.90. So that's 4 comparables to go off of. I like to move stuff fast. So I tend to appraise a little bit in the lower end. Who here likes to get their stuff to sell in a day or two? Anybody? Grant says, oh, I appraised as new. Oh, no, that's a common mistake. Someone says, did you put sold? Yes, we've already got sold check marked. Yep. Okay. Someone says, if you're on a budget, what's a good idea to start with this to build up capital? Yeah, of course. I mean, because $10 is not hard to scrap together, right? And if you flip this for 60, make yourself a $45 profit. You just turn your $10 into $55, $60. Okay. Randy says it freaks me out if it doesn't sell in 15 minutes. Yeah. I mean, we listed yesterday, we listed 12,000 in items, and we already sold 3,000 last night. And I'm offloading the stuff. As a matter of fact, by the way, I just want to show, can I edit my listings really quick live for you guys? Is that okay if I show you this? Because some of you guys might not realize how fast I drop my stuff. But this is going to be the third time today I've dropped my prices. I just move stuff. And see, look, I've still got $9,400 worth of stuff on my store. I'm moving all of this by Thursday. I want it all sold. So I'm just going to go here, edit listings. So that's why I like to, I'm a little conservative with my appraisals because I want to know my stuff is going to sell fast. And I could let it sit in my store for like a week and try to squeeze out $5, but that mentality would make me do low numbers. And I want to hit 35, 40,000 for this month. So that's why I want to move stuff quickly. And my profit margin is still big because I paid so little. Now, something like this, I'm going to drop it $5. So I'll go to 114. See this 64.95? I'll drop it to 59. I'll drop this one to 84.95. I'm going to drop this one 10. 159. I'm going to drop this one 10, 149. I'm going to drop this one 5, go to 59. I'm going to drop this one 10, go to 179. I'm going to drop this one 10, go to 469. A lot of people are afraid to do this because they paid too much for the phone. So when you do this, you will also get you in the right mind to buy things accurately. I'm going to drop this one 10, this one 10, 9, 10, 10. Drop this one 5. This one's in the 5 range, so we'll go 114 on that. You can just watch me now, guys, and just as I change the prices, I'm sure you get the point. I don't want to take up all your time as I'm doing this, but just want to show you how quickly I move my stuff. If it's not moving, I want it sold. Now, there's tons of profit left in these, believe me. So you might go, oh, no, Dave, you're losing all this money. No, I'm not, because we paid very little for these things. Very little. I mean, like this Note 8 right here, I think we paid like $80 for it. So there's still tons of room for profit, and I had it at 210. So we're still going to make well over $100 profit on an $80 investment. Okay, so let's get back into the appraisals here, and we'll get into the next one. Any questions, really quick, why I am doing this? Has this been helpful for you guys? Anybody who's new or anybody in general? Are you guys learning some good stuff here that's going to help you? Hey, Remy, good to see you. Todd says yes. James says yes. Very helpful. Let's move to item number 3. Grant says good stuff. Okay, so let's do a really hard damaged phone. Let's do an iPhone 7 cracked LCD, 32 gigabytes for Sprint. This one's going to be a tricky one. iPhone 7 with a cracked LCD, 32 gigabytes for Sprint. Does everybody know what a cracked LCD is, by the way? Yes, yes. If you don't, let me know, and I'll explain that. But in the meantime, do iPhone 7, cracked LCD, 32 gigabytes for Sprint. Tell me how much you're going to pay, and then tell me how much you think we'll sell it for on eBay. I'm not seeing any offers coming in yet. Randy says $10. Ooh. Marco says buy for 10, sell for 80. I know why you guys are saying that. Brandon says sell for 90, buy for 20. Paulin says buy for 70, sell for 149. Wallace says buy for 15, sell for 100. Oh, the numbers are all over the place on this one. I knew this was going to be a tough one. Grant says buy for 70, sell for 160. Todd says buy for 20, sell for 100. JR says buy for 20, sell for 85. Debbie says buy for 80, sell for 180. Roy says buy for 60, 130. Kurt says buy for 40, sell for 140. It seems to be on this one, people are on either one or two sides. They're on the either $15 to $20 range, or they're in the $60 to $70 range for buying. And either they're saying it's going to sell from 80 to 90 or around like 140-ish, 150. So I believe the correct answer is buy for 50 and sell for 150. And let me tell you why. Okay, I'm going to show you, if you said only buy for 20 and sell for 80, I'm going to show you where you might have gone wrong with this. All right. So let's type in iPhone 7, cracked LCD, Sprint, 32 gigabytes. Go to sold items. This is where you guys probably saw this, right? So this says iPhone 7 Rose Gold Sprint cracked LCD, $80. But what you didn't know is that error 4013 is a boot loop problem. And that means the phone does not power on properly. okay? So when there's an error, that's called an iTunes error. This means this phone would be appraised at no power, not cracked LCD, okay? Which is why it sold for such a low price at $80. So this is not an apples to apples comparison, therefore we can't use that. Did anybody make that mistake? Anybody guilty of that? Not seeing the error 4013? Now, I know this because I've been in this business a while. This is a tricky one, okay? I don't know the exact method, but see what you can actually Google it. Go iTunes error 4013. If you ever see this stuff, this is how you learn. See, this is a hardware-related error, which is mostly seen due to faulty cable or faulty port. So this means there's a problem inside the hardware of the phone, which would now equate that to be no power. Okay. Now, if you're new and you're like, oh man, I'm not going to ever figure this out, don't worry. This is more advanced stuff. Okay. This is not every phone we buy. This is, a few. But if you can appraise things like this accurately, you can win a lot of your competition's business if you want to scale. Okay. So don't be intimidated by this. And it also helps if you learn iPhone repair. So I don't know if you guys got my iPhone repair course or not, but this stuff is kind of helpful with that. So next one, iPhone 7. Cracked LCD, bad ESN. What you might have missed here is IC locked, which means iCloud locked, okay? Which we don't buy iCloud locked phones, therefore we're not going to use that one. Here's another one. Cracked LCD, screen F1. Okay, so here is another problem where the phone doesn't boot up. We're not going to use that one, all right? This is a 7 Plus, we can't use this. 7 Plus, 7 Plus, 7 Plus, can't use this. Okay, here's the only one we have so far. Cracked LCD, find my iPhone is off. Is $149 plus $7 in shipping. So this is the only first apples to apples phone that I found. Now, I don't know how it's cracked LCD, honestly, though, because I don't see any damage on the screen. Cracked LCD means this. See that? There's like a big hole there? That's cracked LCD right there on this 7 Plus. That's what it looks like. It means either you can't see the screen or the actual TV part of the phone is cracked and damaged, okay? But we can't use that because it's 7 Plus. So, but we can use this one. This one's a 7 Plus, can't use that. Here we go. Cracked LCD, oh, that's the same thing, error 413. Can't use that. Okay, here is a bad ESN, cracked LCD, Sprint iPhone 7. Can we use that? Can we use this, guys? And that's what a typical cracked LCD looks like. It looks all black like that. Yes, we can use it. So look at that. We've got a 149 and we've got a 200. Okay, so see how that raises the price? Here's another one. Now this is a cracked working one. With this is bad. Cracked works bad LCD. Whoever did this listing does not know anything about phones. So because cracked works means the screen works. They're saying it's cracked. It works, but there's a bad LCD, which is not possible. So this person is an amateur seller, which probably drove the price down more. Okay, so we have one at 150, one at 200, one at 150. So if we have our lowest one that we saw is at 150, can we at least be probably sure that it will sell for at least 150? What do you guys think? If we got two at 150 and one at 200, do you think it's safe to say we'll probably at least get 150, 140 on this? Yes, absolutely. Okay. So this is why we're going to appraise that. Now, let's look at this from when making an offer. What's our risk management on this phone? If we can't see the screen, is there higher risk or less risk? More risk, right? Which means we need to pay a little bit less if there's very high risk. We don't have a huge strength in comparables, so that's another thing to be careful of. Cost of shipping is going to be very small in this, so that one, it rates high. But we got to factor in the risk management on this and strength in comparables. So I'm going to offer a 50 on that, which is typically low for a $150 item, right? If it was good condition, $50 would be a low offer. I'd probably offer more like $60 or $70. I'd even go up to $75 if it was in good condition. Because it's cracked LCD, there could be other problems, and my risk of getting a return on eBay is stronger with something that's heavily damaged like this. Okay, so that's why I'm only going to pay 50 on that. Someone says, how much is shipping usually? Well, if you're selling phones, you should know what the shipping costs, but typically it's about $3 for a first-class package. You just print the label on eBay. Okay. And you guys can say bad ESN, but they're all bad ESN anyways. If it's Sprint, more than likely they're all going to be sold as bad ESN. So you can but it's going to limit your comparable. See, it says bad ESN on the listing, so I didn't need to type it in because Sprint is always bad ESN usually. I just consider them all bad. I don't waste my time trying to find the one clean ESN Sprint phone, just squeeze an extra couple bucks. It's not usually worth it for me. Okay. Should we go on to the negotiating, guys, or do you want to continue with the appraisals? Do you want to do, I got one more, a MacBook Air. You want to do that or go on to negotiating? More appraising? Roy says negotiating. Todd says appraise. Okay, so we're half and half. Let's just bang out this MacBook Air, and then we'll move on, okay? So here we go. We'll do this one really quick. Let's see how fast you guys can give me this. So MacBook Air, it's a 13.3-inch screen, okay? So MacBook Air, 13.3-inch screen, but it has no power. This is the key. It's a MacBook Air, 13.3-inch screen, but it has no power, and the model number is A1466. So MacBook Air, 13.3-inch, no power, and model number is A1466, which can be found on the bottom of the laptop. So tell me how much you guys would pay for it and what you would appraise it for. No appraisals yet. Let's see how fast it can get you guys. See, Pavlin says buy for 100, sell for 230. Randy says buy for 20, sell for 120. Chris says sell for 185. Anybody else? Brandon says sell for 130, buy for 40. Wallace says buy for 50, sell for 200. Lawrence says no idea. All right, let's take a look here and see how we can. Now we actually listed this. This is an actual item that we bought and have listed on my store right now. I'll show you. I think we paid $40 for this. We paid $40 for my active listings. And by the way, if you're not buying MacBooks, take a look at this, guys. Look at this. See this MacBook right here? We paid $25 for it. It's going to sell for around 110-ish probably. I just reduced it to 115 just now. But here's the one right here. I got it for $169.95, and we paid $40 for it. If you're not buying laptops and MacBooks, you're missing out on a lot of money. This is just this week. We just listed it this week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 laptops. Oh, and don't forget these. I got 2 gaming consoles here. We paid $525 for this. And look at this. $849. It's got 3 watchers on it ready, so it's very close to selling, and I just dropped the price. This one right here, we paid $350 for it. We got it for $649.95. So we have 8 laptops and MacBooks on here. So if you missed out on over $1,000 in profit this week by not buying MacBooks, if you're not doing that currently, or you're not upselling people, so just be careful. Someone says iPads. Yes, definitely do iPads as well, but they're great. But let's get back to the one that we're on, okay? So why did we choose, how did we get to the $169.95? Why did I choose that price to list? Obviously, it's pretty accurate. I already got 2 watchers on it and a bunch of views, right? And I just had it at $179 and dropped it on the group chat. Let's figure out how I arrived at that price. So here's what we're going to search for. You're going to type MacBook Air. Now, the key is you want to have as little as keywords as possible. Okay, so 13.3. I'm just going to type 13.3. I'm going to type in A1466, and then type in no power. Now, I might not be able to find one with no power, so we're going to have to do something else from there, and I'll show you what to do. Again, we're going to go to solds. Make sure you do that. Okay, so we have this one works. This one works. This one works. All right, so there's 0 ones with no power. All right, so that's the tough part, right? Is we don't have one with no power. Let me just try taking away the model number now and see if I can guess on this. All right, here we go. Here's a 2015 MacBook Air 13.3, no power, $158.58. Okay, so see, taking away that model number, look what happened. Now I have some comparables to use. No power, $169.99, $150. All right. So I could say probably it's going to sell for around at least the 150, 160 range. Do you guys agree on that? You see how we did that? Okay. And this is with no power. Yes. See, no power, no power, no power. Each one of these has no power. So now we only paid 40. Now, because, you know, it might sell for 160, it might sell for 150, hell, it might sell for 140. But either way, am I making a good profit on this thing for 40 bucks if I bought it for 40? Either way, am I winning? What do you guys think? Hell yeah, James says. That's right. Okay, because I only paid 40 bucks. So we have here high risk management, low strength and comparables, high cost of shipping. That means we lowball. Okay, that means we got to offer, we got to pack a lot of cushion in there. So I know we're going to do 150 to 160 is what it's going to sell for. I'm offering 40 bucks. And when they're like, oh, only 40 bucks, you can't do anymore. Well, the problem is it's not working. I don't know if it's going to be very difficult to find out who's going to sell this. When I'm negotiating, I want to say, oh, you know, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to sell this thing. It doesn't even have any power. And I don't know what other problems they have. It could be missing components inside. You know, I could do 40 bucks for you. Is that fair? And guess what? They're going to take it. You know why? Because they don't have a choice, right? They don't. What are they going to do? Sell it themselves on Craigslist? Nobody's going to buy it, right? So they're going to take your offer, okay? Unless they're an eBay expert like you guys are. But a lot of the people in this course are eBay experts, and you're still not selling laptops. So what does that tell you? A lot of people are afraid of you know, selling these things themselves, so they're going to take the low balls. This is one of the reasons why I love buying laptops, because you don't have any competition. A lot of other people aren't buying these, so it's very easy to get them at good prices and make nice profits on them. Okay, so it sounds like some of you guys, looks like some of you guys are surprised that people actually buy these for no power for 160. And yeah, guys, no power item, cracked LCD, heavily damaged. You know, anybody ever bought a phone that just got run over and it's like bent in half, but it's like an iPhone 8 or iPhone 7? We'll buy those things for like 20 bucks and I'll sell them for like $200. Anybody ever gotten a win like that on a really damaged phone? I love those. I love water damaged phones that don't even power on. Those are fantastic. Remy says yes. Remy's done over 14,000 a month. Absolutely. Chris says yes. Right? So if you guys are, if you're missing out, if you're not taking these heavily damaged things, there is so much money in them. I remember buying that bent phone. It was bent in half. The thing was run over by a car. I remember the girl running, she said she had run it over with a car. It was like bent in half, all smashed up, didn't work. I sold it for $200. I bought it for 20 bucks. That's a nice profit right there, okay? So don't be prejudiced to the condition of a phone. Just find out what it's going to sell for. If you're good with appraisals, you can make sick profits on this, guys. Okay. Okay. So let's move on to the negotiation now. Did you guys feel a little bit more confident with your appraisals after this chat? Was that helpful? Ray says yes. I hope I can entice you into buying laptops and Bluetooth speakers and all these other things, guys, and not feel afraid. Someone says yes, very, very helpful. That was good. Yes. Okay. Awesome, guys. Because there is just so much money in them, and if you want to scale up, it's very helpful. All right, so now I want to get into this, guys. For those of you who's here, anybody here doing at least 2,000 or 3,000 a month right now? Who's doing 2,000 to 3,000 a month with a phone flipping, or at least let's say 2,000? Randy says me, yes. I know Remy is doing 14,000. Chris says yes. JR says close to that, because Debbie says at 5,500. Way to go, Debbie! Awesome. If you have a little bit of cash in the bank, I just released this new paid Facebook ads course in the group. I just want to show you how many messages I'm getting from Facebook ads right now. Paid Facebook ads, okay? This is not posting in groups, guys, like I teach in the course. This is an advanced strategy, okay? So, you know, if you're not used to posting ads for free yet on Craigslist, this course is not for you yet, okay? This is more for experienced people who have been posting on Craigslist, posting on Facebook groups, but want to get more leads, okay? This was just today. Okay, this was just today. All these messages. You know what I paid for that? Like 30 bucks to get all these messages. You know how many phones we bought today? 7. Okay. Now I'm not promising you're going to get the same results as me. I train my employee really well now. We've been focusing on that. I'm personally running the ads and things of that nature. However, would you agree that that's a pretty good return on investment, right? Nick says, I got my first lead already for my ad. Awesome. You just bought the course last night too, Nick, right? The paid Facebook ads course. That's awesome. Brandon says at about 6 leads right now. Sweet. Remy says good. All right. Yes, it's very good return on investment. Absolutely. Okay, so I trained. You guys all know Aaron Goldstein, right? He's one of my top students. He's averaging about 40 to 45,000 a month. I trained him on this, and within his first few hours, he got his first message for 50 cents, and he got the first 3 days I trained him on this, just without even knowing what he was doing. After I trained him, he got 23 messages for $13 in ad spend. He's getting messages now for about $1 a lead. Okay, so if you're not doing this, I think it's very helpful. I mean, look at that; it keeps going. This is this is just from today. That's just today, guys, right there. And then look at, and then here's Monday. Okay, now I'm gonna break down some of these for you really quick, and I'll show you kind of like how we're responding to them. But the cool thing is, I don't even have to manage this really. I just go there and I look and make sure that I'm still getting messages, and it just runs. Like I don't have to post ads every day. It just automatically goes. So anyways, if you guys, I'm going to put the link for that course in the thing. It's flipphonesforprofit.com/FB ads. flipphonesforprofit.com/FB ads. There you go. If you haven't jumped in it yet. Right now, it's only $297. It's going to probably be more, and that's only for my course members. For you guys, the course is worth over $1,000 all day long. Anybody else, I'm not going to sell it for that price that's out of this group, because it's too powerful, and I don't want a bunch of people knowing this stuff. So just for you guys, I priced it really cheap. I spent over $13,000 testing to get to this level where I'm making this kind of money. So I invested quite a bit of time and money myself to kind of learn this so I could teach you guys, because everybody was asking me how to figure this out. So I dumped my cash in and I played around and I figured it out. So I'll break down a couple of this stuff. If you haven't seen this yet, let me show you. We have this common objection sheet. Now I uploaded this file to the group. Okay, and last week on a group chat, I wrote down the most common objections we get and how to respond, the most perfect responses you can have to most of these common objections. Okay, if you haven't yet, make sure you go into the group and go in the file section and download the sheet and watch last week's group chat. How many people here have done that so far? Who's gotten that sheet, and how many people watched last week's group chat? Lawrence says twice. Awesome. JR says yes. And let's see, we go to the files. Okay, so just right here, right at the top, common objections on how to respond. You can download that, okay? And let me show you like how we use this. So I gave this to Austin, who's my customer service manager. Oh, I froze up. Uh-oh. Am I still there? My computer's completely frozen, guys. I don't know if you can see me or not. Uh-oh. My computer is frozen. I don't know if you guys can see me or anything. Everything is frozen up. I can't see anybody else, so I'm not sure if it's working or not. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can open my computer up. I don't know if this is still on, but I'm going to try and see if I can get it working.